Hey everybody, this is Andy Bennett with the CSS News Civil War Interpretive Center. Today in our Civil War cooking video, we're going to take a list of rations issued to troops and we're going to do a recipe and talk a little bit about the components of this ration because this one is kind of unique. These are the rations listed as being issued to the Junior Reserve in Kinston. This would have been in February, March of 1865. I'm going to read from Colonel John Hinsdale, their commander, listed they were given half a pint of black sorghum soup, a pint of husky meal every other day, a third a pound of Nassau bacon, and a few potatoes. Well, some of these items listed in there, you probably are wondering what they are or unfamiliar with them. We're going to go through a couple of those real quick. Husky meal, if you've seen a previous video that I've talked about, husky meal more than likely is a really a non-sifted cornmeal with a lot of grit and kernel left in it. So you can still make Johnny cake out of it. It's going to be a little tough on your teeth. It's fine. Nassau bacon. Nassau bacon was due to the limited number of supplies and feeding troops. The Confederacy, starting in 1863, started having to bring in a lot of foodstuffs from overseas. So the British-style bacon, which is made from, instead of being made from the belly, is made from the tenderloin of pork, very similar to Canadian bacon. It was the supplies from England and France were first usually brought to the Bahamas, to Nassau, dropped off on wharf there. Then blockading running ships would come pick that up and then run it back in to port. Nassau bacon was disliked by Confederate troops. It's a different style of bacon than what they're used to. There's some other reasons that sitting in the tropical heat of the Bahamas, a lot of time that meat would go bad. So the British started really heavily salting it to preserve it, and so when it came to troops, it was rock hard. You would have to really soak it to use it. The troops describe cutting it off and chewing on it to get flavor out of it. So we talked about the bacon part, we talked about the husky meal, you know about potatoes. Let's get into black sorghum soup. What's black sorghum soup? Some people suggested it's watered down molasses. But more than likely, it is the plant sorghum. It's probably a black variety, black onyx sorghum. Sorghum plant is very, very useful. It is from Western Africa, brought here by enslaved people. It's also known as Guinea corn. It is grown heavily before the Civil War. It is used, the seed head is used to feed chickens and turkeys. The enslaved people would use it. They could cook a gruel out of it, and they could grind it up into a flour. The green stalks, they can be gathered, crushed, they get a green liquid. We cook that down and get sorghum molasses. You've probably heard sorghum molasses before. During the Civil War, they grew a lot of sorghum to make sorghum molasses to make up for the lack of meat. Until they could get some imported, they issued extra molasses. So more likely that black sorghum soup is a soup made of sorghum. What we've done here is can be difficult to get black sorghum, so I've taken a regular sorghum that you can find in a lot of grocery stores. It takes about an hour to cook this, so what I've done is I've taken some of our salt pork ration, put in the water, I've cut up some onions, put that sorghum in there and cooked it down to this soup. As you can see, the sorghum is the round bits in there. It's makes a really delicious, really nutritious soup. So they may have complained about mega rations, but it's what the Confederacy could do right there at the end, and it was healthier than what they thought it was. Thank you for joining us for these videos. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're learning something. As always, you can check out our videos on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.